Good evening and welcome to our March Smyrna Town Council meeting. I will call our meeting to order, and first for prayer we have our Smyrna Police Department Chaplain Tim York, and then we're going to have some special guests that are going to come to do our Pledge of Allegiance. It's Miss Mahaffey's first grade class from Thurman Francis Arts Academy, and they are super excited, so they're going to wait out in the lobby until we get ready to do the pledge. So if you'll all stand with us. Chaplain?
Let's pray. Father, we're grateful for this day. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for our city and our country that we live in. Father, we pray you'll protect those who serve. We ask you, Lord, to give the council wisdom tonight as they meet. May you direct them and may you bless them. Father, thank you for these young voices we hear and the excitement in the room. I pray you'll bless their lives. And may this evening be blessed with your presence. In your name we pray. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So I'm going to let you all come stand right here, and Miss Mahaffey, if you don't mind, go into the podium so you can tell us a little bit about your class. So would you tell us a little bit about what you all have been studying and what was so special that you all were able to do?
Thank you. So we have been studying research, but we also were studying the presidents because it was around President's Day. And so these 6- and 7-year-olds researched their own president. They found all the information they could, and then they put it together into a report, and then they turned that report into a living president's museum. So they all stood, and as soon as somebody walked up to them, they would read their report about their president and first lady.
Okay, so I'm going to let you tell me what your real name is, and then I'm going to let you tell me what president that you dressed up like, okay? And you know what? You're on TV. Look right back there. You see yourself on TV? Yes? Okay, so tell me your name first and then who you dressed up as.
Lila Mendez.
And who did you dress up as, Lila?
Abigail Adams.
Abigail Adams. Very good. Okay. What's your name?
Evelyn Smith.
Say it one more time because I kind of messed you up.
Evelyn Smith.
And who did you dress up as?
Nancy Reagan.
Nancy Reagan. Very good. Okay, sir, turn around so that you can see him on TV, so you can be seen on TV. So tell us your name.
Davis Short.
Davis Short. And you know what? Your last name sounds kind of the same as one of our council members. Is somebody on our council kin to you? Who?
Jerry Short.
Jerry Short. And tell us who Jerry is to you.
My grandpa.
Your grandpa? And do you call him Grandpa?
No, I call him Whoa.
Okay, very good. So tell us who you dressed up, and you even wore part of your outfit today. So tell us who you were.
Andrew Jackson.
Andrew Jackson. And so was there any special something that you really thought was cool about Andrew Jackson?
Yes, that I forgot.
You forgot to it. If you remember it before I get done, you can tell me, okay? Okay, very good. So tell us your name.
Charlotte Newsom.
And tell us who you dressed up as.
Melania Trump.
Very good. Okay, what about you?
Nora Hibden.
And Nora, who'd you dress up as?
Rosalind Carter.
Very good. And our last one?
Elena Strasburger.
And tell us who you dressed up as?
Edith Roosevelt.
Very good. Have they done a great job? Thank you all so much for being here. And you know what? We're going to let Miss Heather get a picture with us. Council, would you stand up so they can get a picture with all of us? Oh, that's right, I forgot about that. I'm glad you reminded me, kept me on track. And parents, if y'all want to get pictures, it's fine for you to come over here so you can get a picture straight on.
Hey Davis, was that suit one of your granddaddy's hand-me-downs? He forgot.
Look right there at Miss Heather.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, wait, we need to get one with Miss Mahaffey too.
Mary
Yeah,
Esther,
for sure.
You want this
Yeah,
one happy?
we'll get that. The top one, just the top. Okay. Okay, Ms. Mahaffey, we also have a certificate of appreciation for you all coming to do the pledge. So this is for your classroom, you can put it up. So
Thank
there you go.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you all so much for coming tonight. Let's give them a hand as they go.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. So Jerry, does he take after you or does he take after his grandmother?
Oh, he takes after his grandmother.
Grandmother.
He's sweet.
Very, very sweet and very smart. So, Miss Amber, if you will do our roll call, please.
Ma'am, get my sheet here. All right. Councilman Dempsey,
Present.
Councilwoman Peoples,
Here.
Councilman Cole,
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Short,
Here.
Councilman Sullivan,
Here.
Vice Mayor Atkins,
Here.
Mayor Reed.
Here. We'll now move on to our approval or corrections of the minutes for February 10th, 2026 regular meeting, the February 24th, 2026 special called meeting, and the February 26th, 2026 workshop meeting of the Town Council. Jeff, are these in order?
The order is to form unless the council has any subtractions or additions you'd like to make.
Okay. Council, any corrections or additions?
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. We'll now move on to awards and recognitions. We actually have two tonight. Our first one is a proclamation in support of First Responders Wellness Week, which is March 23rd through the 27th. Amber?
Yes, ma'am. Whereas first responders, including law enforcement officers, firefighters, emergency medical services personnel, 911 dispatchers, correctional officers, and members of other organizations in the public safety sector come together to protect and aid our community in the event of an emergency. And whereas first responders risk their life and safety every day in the performance of their duties to protect our citizens. And whereas our first responders are tasked with handling dangerous and complicated situations. Whereas nationwide, law enforcement officers will go through an average of 188 critical incidents throughout the course of their career. And whereas first responders often experience stress that has real physical impacts, including cardiac issues, diabetes, obesity, and sleep issues. And whereas first responders are up to 25.6 times higher risk for developing post-traumatic stress disorder when compared to individuals without such experiences. And whereas first responder wellness includes management of issues including, but not limited to, sleep, fitness, nutrition, fatigue, anger management, post-traumatic stress, and loss. Whereas we recognize the integral role of first responders play in our communities and the benefits derived from their hard work, commitment, sacrifice, and unhesitating dedication. And whereas research shows that fostering a strong wellness culture inside first responder agencies enhances relations within the communities they serve. Now therefore, I, Mary Esther Reed, Mayor of the Town of Smyrna, and on behalf of the Town Council, do hereby proclaim March 23rd through 27th, 2026 as First Responder Wellness Week in the Town of Smyrna, and encourage all citizens to join me in this worthy observance.
Great. So our first responders, if you're here, if you'll come forward, please.
Sure.
First of all, thank you for the job that you do day in and day out. We as citizens could not thank you all enough, and not only you, but your families as well. So I'm going to let you each introduce yourself and tell us what you do for the town, and then I'm going to let our staff talk a little bit about the Wellness Week. So I'm going to start down here. Are you awake?
I'm awake. Jason Irvin, Chief of Police.
Don Godby, I'm the peer support team lead for the police department.
Daniel Klaus, I'm the peer support lead for the fire department.
Cameron Phelps, the assistant chief fire department.
Brian Goss, fire chief.
Thank you. Let's get a quick photo, and then we will let the girls talk a little bit about Wellness Week. Can we get? Yeah.
Because we're getting cut off, and if we don't, we're getting our heads cut off first. We'll get behind it.
Great. Are we going to fight over this? No? Okay. There we go.
She says that's mine.
Thank you all very much. You're welcome to stay up while they talk, or you're welcome to be seated, or you're welcome to, whichever. Okay, that's fine.
You guys a second to sit down. Thank you, Mayor and Council, for this proclamation. Since being hired as the Public Safety Counselor in December, it's clear that the town of Smyrna has a passion for employee wellness and strives to be a pinnacle to others in the same field. I'm happy to have been invited to join this team as a licensed clinical social worker and share my passions regarding first responder mental health. The First Responder Wellness Week was created by Lexipol, an organization specialized in helping public safety leaders with policy and training. The event dedicates 5 days to educating and creating awareness of the resources, support, and community created for first responders. This year's theme is Total Wellness, True Readiness. Each day will feature a unique topic accompanied by messaging directing employees to high-quality resources such as live webinars, articles, and additional resources, much like we have here at the town. Additionally, we will provide support on standby, our new program that gives a resource bag to every first responder. I actually brought one here to show you guys. I put one together today. These bags include hydration packets, deodorant wipes, Band-Aids, and immune support, all things that our responders could use at a moment's notice while being small enough to keep in their bags or patrol cars. However, this is not where the support ends. In fact, it's where it begins. Since December, we have finalized and implemented a peer support policy, created and trained the Smyrna Fire Department on basic mental health for firefighters, and recently held a 16-hour training session over 2 days for peer support that drew over local officers and departments. All of this to build confidence and encourage those whose job it is to help and encourage us. I thank you, Mayor Reed, and the council for your support, and our first responder for theirs.
Thank you so much. We are so glad to have you here at the town. Mental health is something we take very seriously here, not just for our first responders, but for all of our employees. And we know the job, especially the first responders does, is so mentally taxing. And so thank you for what you do. And again, thank you to the first responders. So thank you. Next, one that I'm sad to do, but also excited to be able to honor Tommy. So we are doing a proclamation recognizing Smyrna Housing Authority Chairperson Tommy Francis. Miss Amber?
Yes, ma'am. Whereas, since its inception in 1981, the Smyrna Housing Authority has been a cornerstone of stability for the town of Smyrna, providing high-quality, affordable housing to our elderly and disabled neighbors. And whereas Tommy Francis has served as a member of the Smyrna Housing Authority for an extraordinary 35 years, demonstrating an unwavering commitment to providing safe, affordable, and quality housing for our residents. And whereas for more than 33 of those years, Tommy Francis has served as chair of the board, providing visionary leadership, stability, and a compassionate voice for the most vulnerable members of our population. And whereas the town of Smyrna, Tennessee takes great pride in recognizing those citizens that have dedicated their lives to the betterment of our community through steadfast public service. And whereas a commitment of this magnitude, spanning almost 4 decades and thousands of board actions, stands as a shining example of civic duty that few will ever match and all should admire. Whereas under Mr. Francis's guidance, the Housing Authority has navigated decades of growth and change, ensuring that the dignity of home remains accessible to all and fostering a spirit of excellence within the organization. And whereas Mr. Francis's tenure is defined not just by years, but by the countless families whose lives have been improved by his advocacy, his wisdom, and his heart for service. Whereas such a momentous milestone of volunteer leadership is a testament to Mr. Francis's character and deep-rooted love for the Smyrna community. Now, therefore, I, Mary Esther Reed, Mayor of the Town of Smyrna, Tennessee, and on behalf of the Town Council, do hereby issue this proclamation to honor and thank Tommy Francis for his 35 years of exemplary service and leadership and the lasting impact that he has made on the Smyrna Housing Authority.
Tommy, if you'll come join us. We have lots of people that choose to serve on boards, but I'll be honest, I don't know, and maybe I'm wrong, I don't know of any boards that someone has served on for 35 years or more. So, yeah. So, Tommy, thank you for what you've done for our town on a volunteer basis. I can't tell you how much we appreciate it. And I know those seniors that are living in our senior housing appreciate it as well. So anything you'd like to say?
Well, I used to be 6'5", until I took this on.
Good job.
No, I guess it was former Mayor Knox Ridley asked me to serve for a term for someone who stepped down early. I think it was a couple of years' term, and I told him that I would do it as a favor for him, but I would do it just for a couple of years, and then I would step down. And then I saw what a truly a great thing that the Housing Authority was. I thought maybe I'd stay on another term. And 35 years later, here I am. But I have been blessed with some very wonderful executive directors. I've served with 3. I'm glad to see both Jack and Sean here tonight, and I appreciate them being here, and I appreciate their service. And they and their staffs have done the heavy lifting. And so it's been easy for my part. And I've served under, I think, 5 mayors. And the council and the mayors have always been supportive of what we were doing. And even though technically we're not part of the city under the governmental accounting standards or whatever, I've always felt like we were partnered with the city or with the town, and have always appreciated their support. Absolutely. So it's been my pleasure. I've been blessed with good board members for the entire 35 years, and especially the executive directors have been wonderful to work with. As I said, they do all the heavy lifting. So it's been my pleasure, and I thank you for allowing me to serve.
Absolutely. If those that are here from the Housing Authority or executive directors, if you'll come up as well to be part of the picture. And before we do the picture, I'm going to let you each introduce yourself and tell us what role you play. Okay.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
Just started on it. I'm Brian Cornwell. This is my first year on the board. So.
Great. So 34 more years is all you got.
Linda Kazel. I have been appointed the chairman to work with the rest of the board here.
Great.
So.
Nathan Hudson, Commissioner. I've been on this is my 2nd year, I believe.
In class of?
89.
That's an 89, that's right. Still the best class. That's right.
Paul Lamb, Vice Chair.
Jack Rowley, former Executive Director.
Sean Lee, current Executive Director.
Thank you all to each one of you as well for what you do for our community, and we could not do it without you. So like you said, you're not exactly part of the town under the government per se, but it is definitely a partnership, and we appreciate you. So let's get a quick picture. Thank you all very much. You're welcome to stay, but if you We will now move on to our consent agenda, and these are items that are determined by the town manager to be routine matters and not necessarily needing individual discussion. I always like to read these individually so the public knows exactly what we're voting on. Item A is approval of the terms of and authorization for the mayor to execute an agreement with Pyrotechnico for the town's annual Independence Day celebration firework display. Item B is approval of the terms of and authorization for the mayor to execute an agreement with monitoring and management services relative to the fats, oils, and grease program. Item C is approval of the terms of and authorization for the mayor to execute an agreement with Barton Lawn Care for mowing of non-parks properties within the town. Item D is approval of the terms of and authorization for the mayor to execute a contract extension with TDOT for the Enon Springs Sidewalk Replacement Project. Item E is approval of the terms of and authorization for the mayor to execute a contract amendment with Gresham Smith for roadway and signal design services for the Rock Springs Road at Old Nashville Highway intersection improvement. Item F is approval of the terms of and authorization for the mayor to execute an amendment to the lease with Rutherford County, Tennessee for property located at 440 Enon Springs Road East. Item G is approval of the terms of and authorization for the mayor to execute an agreement with the Tennessee Rehab Center allowing the Parks Department to use the recreation field area. Item H is approval of the terms of and authorization for the mayor to execute an agreement for the Smyrna Outdoor Adventure Center Fall Exhibit Sonic Sensation. And item I is consideration and approval of the Smyrna Parks and Recreation 5-year master plan. Do I have a motion for the consent?
Mayor, I'd like to take item E off and discuss it.
Okay. We'll take off item E. Do I have a motion for the rest of the consent agenda?
Motion to approve except item E.
A motion to approve except for item E. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Mayor, before you move on, Mayor, can I just make one comment? I do have, it doesn't matter because obviously I've supported it, but I do have a little concerns about the mowing contract. I just think they may have really bid it really low. So I'm going to kind of rely on you guys to manage that tightly. I still can't imagine how a company can mow all the grass on Jefferson Pike for $400. But it is the best deal and it's the best price, and I think they've done work for us in the past, so hopefully they can manage it. But just want to kind of put that out there that I'm a little concerned, and I hope you guys will stay on top of that because it seems really low.
Okay. Item E is approval of the terms of and authorization for the mayor to execute a contract amendment with Gresham Smith for roadway and signal design services for the Rock Springs Road at Old Nashville Highway intersection improvements. Jerome?
Yes. Mayor, I know we had a lot of discussion. I guess it was at the work session. I think Steve had concerns about, the phase 1, phase 2, getting it included. But I asked about a timeline and deliverables. And I was wondering if I didn't see it in the packet, the timeline on the deliverables.
Yeah, I had gotten an email from them. They said they're going to add that into here. It was going to be an 8-month. It was going to be an 8-month completion time on the construction plans once it was approved.
Hey, get that sent out once you receive it.
Okay, yeah, I did.
Make sure that that's what gets executed.
Other questions? Okay. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. We have 3 items under old business that will be public hearings. Our first one is consideration of an ordinance relative to the amendment of the existing PRD to PUD for property located on tax map 28, parcels 44.07, 44.26, and 44.32, owned by Vintage Harbor Brook LLC, Vintage Smyrna Block 1 owner LLC, and Vester Waldron Family Limited Partnership LLC, containing 91.66 acres. The property requested are located on Needham Drive, White Birch Avenue, and Old Nashville Highway. Kevin?
Yes, Mayor and Council, this is an amendment to this PRD to PUD. This is the project that's collectively known as the Vintage. along Old National Highway north of Genie Lane with additional frontage on Needham Drive, White Birch Avenue, and Carriage House Drive. The land use plan is for this area is the Sam Ridley character area. Support a combination of retail uses and services to provide markets for both local and regional customers. Surrounding zoning is R4, R6, C2, and PRD in town, and R2 in agriculture in Laverne. This existing PRD was approved in March of 2021 for up to 1,283 multifamily residential units in 4 phases. The overall layout, architectural requirements, density, and proposed amenities are not being proposed for amendment with this change. That's all remaining the same. The requested amendment would include the following: to allow up to 10 office suites for each phase. The minimum building separation would be 20 feet instead of 30 feet. And each phase is responsible for the maintenance of the common areas and common space in lieu of an owners association, and that the common park would be owned and maintained by the town instead of maintained by all 4 phases. The proposed non-residential uses within phase 1 would be located on each floor along hallways that are largely residential. Those are all key card accessible. The list of uses has been limited as such that traffic from non-residents would be kept at a minimum. Phases 2, 3, and 4 would be required to have the non-residential uses limited to common spaces on a first floor where such uses as a mailroom or fitness facility would be located. Those list of uses are in your packet there in the pattern book in a couple of different places for phase 1 and 2. The uses would be the same for 3 and 4, but they just don't have those phases haven't been mapped out to the extent that phase 2 has. The Planning Commission did review this amendment, did recommend approval unanimously. There were 4 conditions. Upgrades will need to be made to the existing office space and future office spaces to meet life safety standards, and an occupancy inspection is required before renting out units and prior to offices being occupied. That's primarily for fire and life safety code compliance. The comment number 3, to provide a written statement of approval from the State Fire Marshal's Office for Phase 1, as the buildings were originally reviewed and approved as for residential occupancy only. We have received that, so that's been addressed. And then comment 4, the landscaping within the public right-of-way is to be maintained by the owners of the development. As there's no longer going to be an association, each property owner will be required to have a separate agreement with the town for that portion of the landscaping within the public right-of-way that they would be required to do. That would be a separate agreement that would come at some point in the future. So with those conditions, staff would recommend approval.
We have had quite a bit of discussion on this. Steve or Mark, anything you want to add from planning?
I don't have anything. I don't think there's anything that new other than the secure entrance ways and things like that we asked for. So
Yeah, there's nothing new that we haven't already talked about other than, that I think they did a really good job of listening to the feedback that we gave them, limiting that commercial property to the first floor on all the other phases, and secured access, badge access, so it's not just open to the public. I think they've done everything reasonable to make these usable spaces, but also protect their community.
Right. Okay, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone here to speak for or against this item? Seeing no one, will close public hearing, go to council for a motion.
make a motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
Just a question or two, Kevin. The large blocks up to the, on the right-hand side north, I guess, northeast of those, we've got another map that is color-coded with the zoning, and it looks like uh-oh. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Where that says R6, that's not R6, is it?
I'm confused as you are. I believe it's R4. The only thing I can think
I thought
of
it was
is
PUD.
well, that piece is not a PRD. That was never a part of this PRD or anything like that. I'm assuming you're talking. Let me see if I can get this thing to work. You're talking about this piece right here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then also, when we look at the one below it there with Carriage House going through it,
Yeah,
it's listed as R6. Is that R6?
That is R6. So that was always R6. They rezoned, this piece right here was rezoned to a PRD. That part was not zoned, and then this piece right here was actually zoned to, that's why it has a C2. It got rezoned from R6 to C2 several years ago. But that piece has always been R6. The part that's got that, kind of that split zoning, I'll need to look into the history on that one, what's going on with that.
Just odd that single
Yeah.
parcel would have two different colors to it.
Yeah. It's not typical that one parcel would have two zonings. It does happen occasionally, but I don't know. I have to look into that.
It's irrelevant to this subject, so I would.
Yeah.
Other questions? We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Our next public hearing is consideration of an ordinance relative to the rezoning of tax map 51, parcel 8.26 from PRD to R3. It's requested by Hollingshead Land LLC. The property requested to be rezoned contains approximately 12.94 acres and is located south of Lee Road. Kevin?
Yes, this is a zoning request. It's about a piece of property about 800 feet south of Lee Road. It's about 800 feet east of Lee Hollow Lane, which is a private road, and it's not in the town, it's in the county. The land use plan would support medium-density single-family residential in this area. Surrounding zoning is PRD and PUD in town and RM in Rutherford County. This property and the two adjoining parcels to the north and west were a part of the original PRD for Olive Branch, which was known originally as Tilly Farms, in 2008. When the original development fell apart, the subsequent developer did purchase part, but not all, of the properties that were in the original PRD and did amend the approval. And this property was not included, so it was kind of left out. This property, and again, the one to the west and the one to the north. This property currently has no road frontage. The development to the east will have roads stubbed into it at some point in the future. And so it would most likely be accessed through that PUD through those stub streets before this ever actually develops in any way. The Planning Commission did review this, did recommend approval, and staff would also recommend approval.
Questions for Kevin on this one? Okay, seeing none, we'll go to the public to see if there's anyone here to speak for or against this item. Seeing no one, close public hearing, go to council for a motion.
Motion to approve.
For a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Our last public hearing is consideration of an ordinance amending the Smyrna Municipal Code Title 12 relative to the adoption of the 2024 Uniform Building Codes. Hey, Christy.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. This is the ordinance to adopt the codes for 2024.
Fire codes put in. Everything's good
It's
with
coming
that?
later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Questions for Christy on this? Okay. Seeing none, we'll go to the public to see if there's anyone here to speak for or against the 2024 Uniform Building Codes. Seeing no one, we will go to council for a motion. A motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. New business tonight, our Planning Commission report. Item 1 is consideration of an ordinance relative to the annexation and PRD zoning of property located on tax map 54, parcels 20.00, 20.01, and 3.04, requested by Catalyst Design Group on behalf of the property owners containing 102 acres. The properties are located at 7025 Del Thomas Road, and it's my understanding they've asked for deferral on this.
They have requested deferral.
Jeff, do we need to defer again? Do I have a motion to?
Mayor, is there any discussion on this before we defer it?
After you make the motion, second, you can discuss.
Okay, all right.
Do we have a motion to defer?
I move to defer
Are
to
we-
the next meeting.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it just the next meeting, or did they say?
They didn't actually specifically say.
Okay, we'll just go 30 days. Okay.
So we have a motion to defer till the next meeting?
I'll
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Discussion? All in, you want us to wait, Jeff?
No.
Okay, okay.
No, I mean, he's got to discuss them.
Okay.
Okay, the only thing, I just want to make sure that, before it comes back, that we get all the traffic items, I guess, clarified by staff, because I see that offset at that intersection as being a big obstacle, the bridge, how much we annex of the roadway, so rather than us having to come up here and debate that, I would hope that we could get some resolution to that.
Yeah, I know part of the reason they asked for the deferral is they want to have a meeting. They want to sit down with us and the
Okay.
county to talk about that.
Sure.
They have,
Just to get in front of that, because that's been discussed up here, and they know we want to hear about that.
I think, I had a conversation earlier this week with Chris, who's one of their, and he said I think they've already vacated the four houses that we asked, and they were looking at how to make some of the road corrections we discussed, so that's definitely where their thoughts are going.
Yeah. And the turn lanes and everything, from what I've seen when they brought it to us last, that it was kind of minimum on the roadway improvements, so hopefully they'll.
I think we were pretty specific
Yeah,
with them when
yeah.
we told them what our expectations
Right.
were before they bring it back, so. Okay, so we have a motion and a second on the floor for deferral. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is deferred. Our next item is consideration of an ordinance relative to the rezoning of tax map 27, parcel 11.00 and part of parcel 14.00 to go from R1, C2, and P&O 1 to PID, owned by Gillsville Family Center Incorporated, and requested by Thomas and Hutton on behalf of KBC Advisors. The property requested to be rezoned contains approximately 28.3 acres and are located on Nissan Drive and Jefferson Pike. It's my understanding that they want to withdraw this.
that has been withdrawn.
Okay? And I know that there was, and Jeff, we don't need to vote on anything. I know that there was quite a bit of discussion, and the neighborhood had quite a bit of questions. I just want them to understand anything that would come back in the future for that piece of property would have to start the process over again and would have to go back through the planning commission. But this parcel itself, this project itself is dead
It is dead unless they want to resubmit, yes.
and go back through the process.
Go back through the whole process with letters and everything, just like we did this time. Yep.
Okay. Item 3 is consideration of an ordinance relative to the rezoning of property located on tax map 34I, Group F, parcel 18.00, owned by Amari Saber and Mariana Machia Saber, containing 54/100ths of an acre from R2 to C2. The property is located at 11264 Old Nashville Highway. Kevin?
Yeah, this is a rezoning request on Old Nashville Highway. It's about 250 feet southeast of the intersection with Windlewood Circle. The land use plan would support medium-density, single-family in this area. The surrounding zoning is R2 and C2. There is an existing house and a detached accessory structure on this property. There's actually also an 8-inch sewer line that runs west to east through the middle of it. This sewer line location and easement would have to be accommodated with regard to any buildings, would have to be relocated. About the rear third or so of this property does lie within the 100-year floodplain with a little small area of 500-year floodplain adjacent to that. So any development would have to take that into account and go through a floodplain development permit application as well. The Planning Commission did review this, did recommend denial, 6-4-0 against. Staff would also recommend denial.
Steve or Mark, anything to add?
Yeah, not really anything to add, but just kind of clarification. We recently looked at property very close to here that was, we actually recommended from planning, and it got to council, and council said no. And so we kind of felt like this was in the same place and same area, and that based on the council's previous perspective, that this one would not be a good fit. So our recommendation was for denial.
This was also the one that was on down a little bit that we recommended to the homeowners if they kind of all wanted to get together and bring it back, was it not?
Yeah, that would be a spot zone for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, and to Steve's point, we looked at one a few months ago and trying to stay consistent with the same idea there. If this one had been on a corner or something like that without a lot of residential around it, we might have considered it. But even at that, we had one in the county that wanted to be annexed in on a corner, and we said no to that one as well. So we're just trying to stay consistent with the zoning part of it.
Okay. Then do I have a motion?
Motion to deny.
A motion to deny. Do we have a second?
Second.
A second. Any discussion? All in favor of denial, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes for denial. Item 4 is consideration of a resolution authorizing the acquisition of right-of-way and easements by negotiation or condemnation for the purpose of a sewer line project along Morton Lane. Kevin?
Yeah, this is a sewer and temporary construction easement the town's preparing to obtain, basically to serve the Barley Downs development. The off-site existing 10-inch line is being upsized to a 15-inch gravity line and routed around the existing bridge on Morton Lane. The easements would be attained from the Rutherford County Board of Education, which did approve the granting of the easement in January of this year. We did show the exhibit, and that's there on your screen. That shows the exhibit of where the easements would be obtained. The Planning Commission did review this, found it consistent with the comprehensive plan of the town, and did recommend approval. Staff would also recommend approval.
Questions for Kevin on this? Seeing no questions, do I have a motion?
So moved.
A motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item 5 is consideration of an ordinance amending the text of the Smyrna Sign Ordinance, Chapter 3, General Provisions, Section D and E, and Chapter 7, Temporary Sign Provisions, Sections A, B, and C. Kevin?
Yes, Mayor and Council, these are some changes that were discussed at the last joint meeting between the Planning Commission and Council, and so these are brought forward based on that discussion. Temporary signage is regulated by the sign ordinance. These proposed amendments would update the regulations for banners, streamers, and inflatable signage. With regard to banners, the 90-day calendar year time limit permitted in 30-day increments would be removed. In place of that, banners could be displayed up to 7 days within 3 months of a business license being obtained from the town. They could also be displayed if a business is awaiting the fabrication and installation of a permanent sign. If they come to us and got a permit for a sign but it hasn't been installed yet because they're waiting on it to being constructed, that they could have a banner during that time frame. With regard to streamers, pennants, and inflatable signs, these would no longer be allowed as a form of temporary signage. We did include those modifications that together would reflect those changes that we're talking about. The Planning Commission did review these, did recommend approval, and staff would also recommend approval.
Council, if you'll recall, we had quite a bit of discussion about this at our joint planning and council meeting. I think all of us have had some concerns about the aesthetics of the town and how many of the banners and Kevin, I think you gave a great demonstration of the inflatables. Did you want to give that tonight?
I'm good.
No, you're
Thank
okay?
you. I'm
Okay.
good,
And what it's starting to look like. And so we wanted to find a way that still allowed people to advertise their business without it looking, without it looking the way in which we don't want the town to look. So, anything council wants to add?
Well, I'd like to add something. I think this needs to be in place. And I think I sent Dave a photograph last week or week before of some of those flags that were basically leaning over into the driving lane of a roadway. And I mean, not only are they dangerous when they're not maintained, but they're unsightly. So
And so many of them are broken, and they don't
Right.
take them up, and the only
Right.
things left is the pole there,
Right.
so I don't disagree.
Just tired, too.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. So do we have a motion?
Move to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item 6 is consideration of an ordinance amending the text of the Smyrna Municipal Zoning Ordinance, Article 5, Zoning District, Section 5.051.4.c, regarding accessory apartments in the R4 Medium Density Residential District. Kevin?
Yeah, this is another one that was talked about at the last joint meeting, so we brought this forward based on that discussion. This amendment would add accessory apartments as an allowed use within the R4 district as a special exception review by the Board of Zoning Appeals. This is already the case in R1, 2, and 3, and so this amendment would limit this in R4, but only on pieces of property that have a single-family residence on them. If they have a duplex or zero lot line dwellings or any other residential or non-residential primary use on it, they could not be an accessory apartment. Again, we do attach that amendment there that was discussed. The Planning Commission did review this, did recommend approval unanimously. Staff would also recommend approval.
Questions or comments? I know we had quite a bit of discussion about this in our joint meeting. No? Okay, I will open the floor for a motion.
Motion to approve.
A motion, do we have a second? Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Item 7 is consideration of an ordinance amending the text of the Smyrna Municipal Zoning Ordinance, Article 2, Definitions, Section 2.020 and 2.036.12, and Article 5, Zoning Districts, Section 5.052.1, 5.052.2, 5.052.4, and 5.052.6 regarding bail bond agency requirements.
Yeah, this is not one that was discussed at the joint meeting. This is one we brought forward as staff, similar to what we had with the roll-off dumpster business wanting to locate in Smyrna. We had a bail bond agency wanting to locate in Smyrna. It was another use that our ordinance had not addressed in any way. So we brought this forward so we could address it. This use does fit within the overall category of general business services, but it wouldn't necessarily be appropriate in all the zoning districts that use is allowed. And so they're allowed by right in the C1, C2, C4, C5, PNO2, and A1 districts, and by special exception in the I1 and I2 districts. So this amendment would add a definition of a bail bonding agency, add it to the use listing under general business service, but it would restrict them where they would not be allowed to be operated in C1, C2, C4, PNO2, would remain by right in C5 and A1, and then status as a special exception in I1 and I2 would not change. So there's no amendment to those sections of the ordinance. The Planning Commission did review this, did recommend approval, and staff would also recommend approval.
Questions on this since we have not discussed it?
No,
Okay.
I don't have any. I'm kind of surprised it's never come up before.
Typically, most of those folks are in Murfreesboro, seems like, from what we found, closer to the jail, I guess.
Closer to the jail, yeah.
Okay, do we have a motion?
Move to approve.
Do we have a second? Second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item 8 is consideration of an ordinance, amending the text of the Smyrna Municipal Zoning Ordinance, Article 2, Definitions, Section 2.020, 2.036.14, and 2.036.23, Article 4, Supplementary Provisions applying to specific districts, adding Section 4.210, and Article 5, Zoning Districts, Sections 5.052.7, 5.053.1, and 5.053.2 regarding tobacco, vape, and cannabinoid retailers.
Yes, this was discussed at the last joint meeting, so this was, again, something we brought forward based on that discussion. These amendments would create a definition regarding establishments conducting retail sales of tobacco, vape, or cannabinoid-derived products as the primary business operation. The amendments would lead to the use being allowed by right within C5, I1, I2, and I3 districts, with some additional supplementary provisions applying to the locations of such operations within those districts. This is all new language to be added to the ordinance. We did model this quite a bit. We looked at several surrounding communities. I think Murfreesboro is probably the closest one that we modeled ours after theirs on that. The Planning Commission did review this, did recommend approval, and staff would also recommend approval.
Questions for Kevin on this? Seeing none, do we have a motion?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. I do want to let the public know that items 5, 6, 7, and 8 that we just discussed will be heard on April the 2nd at a special called meeting. Move on to item B, which is consideration of an ordinance amending the Smyrna Municipal Code Title VII relative to the adoption of the 2024 International Fire Code. Christie?
Mayor, this was inadvertently left off of the initial code's adoption, so it's just adding it on now.
Questions for Christie on this? Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item C is consideration of a resolution in support of Parks and Recreation's fiscal year 2026 $3 million application to the local Parks and Recreation Fund by the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation. Chief, I think he was sleeping back there.
I was actually looking, didn't know if Dennis was here. I didn't see him.
Was
so
Dennis here?
I'll take it.
Okay.
As you well know, we've already had a public input meeting on this required public input meeting. We have another one next week to meet the grant requirements. So also, one of the grant requirements has a resolution from the town council to be approved and sent in with a grant application. The total project is $6 million project for improvements over at the Rotary Soccer Park, 50-50 match, similar to the grants that we got at West Fork Park and at the tennis and pickleball courts out at Cedarstone Park. So the scope of works, synthetic fields or synthetic turf on fields 1 and 2 over there, more parking, the design work for that, also some ADA access, bleachers and that type of thing, and lighting up the parking lots as well. So that's, like I said, it's part of the grant requirement is a resolution from the town. And if you got any questions, feel free to ask.
Questions for Mike? Seeing none, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion?
Go ahead. I'll second, but can I ask a question?
Sure.
The, if we awarded this grant, is there a timeline on how long it has to be completed?
Yes, sir. The timeline, they usually announce these in August. It could change. It's up to the state on that. And if it's announced in August, usually you'll get a contract in November, December, try to start in the spring. From the date of contract with the state, you have 3 years to complete the project. If you don't have it completed, you have to ask for an extension. Used to be 2 years. That was awful tough because some of the things you have to go through, but 3 years is doable.
Okay. I was just asking specifically because of our match.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, we got to have the budget available for that in the next 3 years.
Absolutely. And it'd be a partial year at the
Yeah.
best,
And if we do get this, talk to our finance director, we'd probably be eyeballing and recommending capital funds for this project.
Other questions?
Mayor, I do have a question. Who is my first? Was
Who
it
was
Jerry
first?
or
I
HG?
seconded it. I think
weren't
HG
you?
first.
HG was
Okay.
first and
Okay.
and
Thank
Steve
you.
was second. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Item D is consideration of a resolution to request unclaimed balance of accounts remitted to the state treasurer under Unclaimed Property Act. Sierra?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is our annual resolution to request unclaimed funds. When the town issues refunds to citizens or payments to vendors and those checks go uncashed, we are required by law to submit it to the state as unclaimed property. After 18 months, we're allowed to request back whatever is remaining. And I did verify that we started this in 2013 and we have gotten $121,000 since then.
Questions for Sierra? Do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, it is an exciting night because it is boards and committee night. So if you will bear with us, our first one is consideration of an appointment of one member to the Stormwater Advisory Board to serve an unexpired term ending in 2027. The members are appointed by majority council vote, and Tyler Short is actually moved to BZA, so he is going off of Stormwater, and we had one applicant, Matthew Ford. So having one applicant and one opening, all in favor of Matthew Ford, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations, Matthew. Okay, next we have project assistance, and, oh wait, let me get down here. Okay. Next is consideration of an appointment of two members to the Project Assistant Board. One to serve an unexpired term ending in 2028, and one to serve a term ending in 2029. Linda McNeil, who, thank you for serving, we appreciate you, and Joy Gallion will be coming off. We actually had three members, Shaddy Hannah, Donald Merritt, and Wendy Lloyd. I asked Mike Strange and his staff to look over these, and their recommendation was Donald Merritt and Wendy Lloyd. This is nominated by council and appointed by majority vote. So at this point, since there are three applicants, do I have, I'll open the floor for nominations.
I looked at these pretty closely, and two of the three are registered voters and had been in Smyrna for 30-plus years, and it happened to be the two that they recommended. So I would recommend Wendy Lloyd for the full term and Donald Merritt for the partial term.
Any other nominations? Then I will close nominations, and all in favor of Donald Merritt and Wendy Lloyd, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Okay.
I would just like at this point to say how much we appreciate the two members who are going off. They've been, of course, longtime Smyrna residents and involved in many other things just besides this right here. So great kudos to Linda and Miss
Joy.
Miss Joy.
Yep, agree. Okay.
Just means Linda's available somewhere else now.
That's right, to volunteer. That's right. Next is consideration of appointment of one member to the Smyrna Housing Authority to serve a term ending in 2031. This is appointed by the mayor. And Tommy Francis obviously is rolling off, and I am going to appoint Jason Surratt to the Housing Authority. Okay, next is consideration of appointment of two members to the Planning Commission to serve terms ending in 2028. We had one vacancy when one of the planning commissioners rolled off, and then Vanessa Haley, who I had just appointed, she has reapplied. So I will, and these are mayor appointments, so I will reappoint Vanessa, and I will appoint Scott DeMumbrim as well. Okay, and then item E is consideration of the appointment of two members to the Historic Zoning Commission, one to serve an unexpired term ending in 2029, and one to serve a term ending in 2031. This is nominated by the mayor and confirmed by majority vote of the council. Lynn Arnold is rolling off, and I think Lynn's been our chair for how long? 2 years. Yeah, so. Yeah, so been on for a while, and we appreciate her service. And then we had one empty seat. We actually had 3 people apply: Matthew Ford, who we just appointed to Stormwater, and Nikki Sasser and Patricia Thurmond. And I will put forth Nikki Sasser and Patricia Thurmond. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Patricia's actually Pat, that is in our Citizens Academy. So,
Donald
yeah.
Merritt as well.
And Donald, that's right,
Merritt,
Donald was in the
yep.
academy as well.
And Nikki Sasser.
And Nikki Sasser, that's right. So they're really jumping in. Yes.
Will you just confirm which you would like to go in the unexpired term and, or do they both? I'm sorry, I'm looking at my sheet and it looks like one of them's unexpired.
Yeah, one's 2029 and one's 2021.
One's 2020.
Yes.
Okay, so let's put Patricia for 2029 and Nikki for 2026.
2031.
Oh,
This is 2026.
It's a 5-year term, I believe.
okay, so
Yes.
on this, it says 2026, so what is it?
31.
31,
Oh,
okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So which one would you like for the 2031?
Put Patricia in 29 and Nikki in 31.
Okay.
Okay, BZA, we have 2 spots. Since Scott went to planning, his spot will now be open, and Tyler is reapplied. And so we now have 1 spot open. Wendy Lloyd was appointed to project assistance, and Patricia was appointed to historic zoning. So that leaves 1 person, and this is actually appointed by the town council. So we have 2 spots to fill. Tyler Short reapplied, and Gregory Creasy is our only other applicant that has not been appointed to another board. He also serves on Sister City, but we're going to remove him from Sister City because he wanted to do BZA. So, only having 2 applicants that are not on other boards, do I have a nomination for those 2 applicants?
So moved.
Okay. Any others? Okay. All in favor of Gregory Creasy and Tyler Short for BZA, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay. Item G, consideration of appointment of 3 members to the Sister City Relations Committee to serve terms ending in 2029. Melody Villalobos, Barbara Ibarra, and Mark Michelson's, all terms expired. Mark was actually on his 2nd term. Gregory Creasy has gone off to go on BZA, so that actually leaves us 4 spots open, and 3 had reapplied, and then Samantha has also applied. So, and Amber, this one is nominated by mayor, confirmed by council. So I will nominate Melody, Barbara, Mark, and Samantha. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that's Sister City. Beer Board. Consideration of an appointment of 1 member to the Beer Board to serve a term ending in 2029. We have Jason Surratt is going to Housing Authority, so he comes off. We did have Ben Franklin's term is up, so we have 2 to fill. And Amber, recommendations?
Yes, ma'am. Although I hate to lose Jason Surratt, I think that he will do great work on the Smyrna Housing Authority. Also looking at my 2 applicants, well, 3 applicants, Mr. Franklin also reapplied. But I honestly would like to give these 2 new applicants a try. I think they're both well qualified. Mr. Franklin's done a great job, but he's had to miss multiple meetings, so.
And that's one thing about our boards that's so important, is being able to commit the time. And I think he had missed 6?
6 out of the last 12, yes, ma'am. And sometimes it's hard to assure that we're having a quorum, so I would like to recommend, if I could, Jesse Bobick and Eric Duncanen to take those 2 spots. And if so, I'd like for maybe Jesse to serve the full time and Eric Duncanen to serve the unexpired term.
Okay. This is majority council vote. I'll open the floor for nominations.
I would take the recommendations from Amber and nominate Jesse Bobick for the full term and Eric, what was his name? Ducanin, yeah, for the unexpired term.
Okay. Any other before I close nominations? Okay. Since we have 2 nominations and 2 spots, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Spear Board. Item 8I is consideration of the appointment of 3 members to the Industrial Development Board, 1 to serve an unexpired term ending in 2027, 1 to serve an unexpired term ending in 2030, and 1 to serve an unexpired term ending in 2031. All 3 spots were empty. Wendy Lloyd was appointed, Kenneth Chun and Wendy Lloyd have applied. Wendy is serving on project assistance, so I will take her off. And Kenneth Chun is left. That will still leave us 2 spots open. And can we just keep these open and allow as anybody wants to apply?
Yes, ma'am. We will continue to advertise this. They only meet 1 time a year, so we have until November to keep accepting applicants.
Okay. Okay. All in favor of Kenneth Chun, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
Mayor Reed,
Yep.
just to clarify, because there were so many unexpired terms, do we want to give Mr. Chun the
Give
longest?
him the
till
longest term.
2031?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, item J is consideration of an appointment of 1 member to the Package Liquor Board to serve a term ending in 2029. Christina Treglia's time was up. We did not have any applicants for the Package Liquor Board. I think we all know, I can't even remember the last time this board met.
2021 or early 22, but it's
Okay.
been a while.
So we will continue to keep that one open. If there are any, if there's anybody out there who wants to serve on packaged liquor, please, put in your application and we would be happy to put you on that board. Item K is consideration of appointment of 2 members to the Board of Adjustments and Appeals, 1 to serve an unexpired term ending in 2028 and 1 to serve a term ending in 2029. We did have 1 applicant, Mike Allen, who was already on the board, did reapply. And, oh, sorry, Dave, I stole your thunder. I think this is your appointment, or your recommendation. But Mike was the only applicant that we had apply.
That's fine, Mayor. I mean, he did reapply. It will still, I think, leave us a vacancy, but yes, I'd recommend that we reappoint.
Okay? All in favor of Mike Allen, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So Mike will go back on, and we still have 1 empty seat. And if you are interested in serving on the Board of Adjustments and Appeals, you can put in an application. Next is consideration of the appointment of 1 council representative to serve a term on the Smyrna Charity Assistance Board ending in 2027. Raquel, would you still stay on? Perfect. And all in favor of Raquel, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you, ma'am. Next is consideration of appointment of 1 council representative to serve a term on the Coos Memorial Funding Subcommittee ending in 2030. And Steve Sullivan has been our council rep. Amber, is this one appointed
Yes, ma'am.
by council or by me?
This is by council.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Steve, would you?
Sure.
Okay. All in favor of Steve, say aye. Any opposed? Thank you, Steve. Next is consideration of an appointment of one council representative to serve a term on the Sister City Funding Subcommittee ending in 2028. Jerry, you have served on this board for a while, and would you be willing to continue?
I will.
Okay. All in favor of Jerry, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you, Jerry. Okay. Thank you to all of the people who put in applications. We really appreciate it. If you did not get selected, please consider next year or even some of the open spots that we still have available. We are now down to public comment. The town's public comment period shall be reserved for those citizens who have signed up to address the town council or board or committee at least 24 hours in advance of the meeting pursuant to the town's public comment policy as outlined above. We did have 6 people signed up. I'm going to go ahead and we don't think that they're here, but if they are, I wanted to give them the opportunity. First is Donna Alonzo.
Wrong Donna.
Kelly Bone, Tyler Patterson, Ethan Levitt, Troy Randolph, Katrina Roberts. Bless you. Okay, then we are down to other.
Yes, Mayor, I think I talked to a couple of those folks via email, and I think most of them, if not all of them, were here to speak about the matter that was pulled.
They were.
So just, so the public may not put that together. They may be like, why did all these people not show up? Once that matter was pulled from the agenda, they obviously didn't have the same concerns they had before. So I think that's why they are not here.
Great. Anything under other tonight?
I've got a couple of things, Mayor.
Okay.
One, I've talked to Dave, and is the paving around town. I've been getting several calls from residents about, I guess, the quality of the pavement plus the operations of the pavement. And
In what specific areas?
downtown area and the Rosemont area.
I thought Rosemont we addressed and actually had them look at and do a test strip. So, and we brought in another crew. Was that not accurate?
They brought in another crew from the same company, but the most recent incident that we had was them refueling their vehicles on the pavement, spilling that fuel on the brand-new pavement, and blocking the roadway entirely. So Mr. Rose was aware of it the same day that Councilman was, and we have addressed that with them, and they are completing that particular road because they're in the middle of it, and then we're going to sit down and have another conversation, and Mr. Peach will be involved in that entirely.
I know that we had already had one conversation with them that we were unhappy with the work that was done on Front Street. So,
Yeah. Just to be transparent, this will probably be the last conversation we have.
okay, great.
I was going to ask, are they under an annual contract, or are they individual project contract?
They were on our annual contract.
Okay.
But I think, didn't we hire 2 paving companies just in case one couldn't get to the other?
That's correct.
Vulcan's the other one.
Yeah. And the other thing, and I know Tom and everybody's busy, but we've got to have somebody out in the field that can raise the red flag and shut these guys down and I know if they jump out there and start paving and do it without notifying, the director, but we've got to have somebody in the field that can just say, time out,
Is that something, our new position that we're going to look at? Or do you know yet?
It is, but I'll just be honest, I mean, for them to go out there and bring out a fueling truck, I don't know if we would have had somebody in the moment, right? It's kind of like.
Notify.
Right, yeah. But we do go out, we do inspect work and make sure that they're completing work as is. I just want to manage expectations that we're not going to have an inspector on every job at every minute of the day. We go out there, we spot check, we make sure that they're complying and that when they do complete sections that it's in compliance. If it's not, they got to correct it. And that's the situation we're in right now. So we're going to make sure that they get in and out as quickly as possible with what they're in the middle of, and then that's it.
So the fact that we wanted to have two, so if we had an issue with one, if we end up not proceeding with Wiregrass, or is it something else now?
Yeah, they changed their name. I think it's like PMI or PRI or something like that.
If we
pavement.
choose not to move forward with them, will we then look at a second option so that we do have a second one?
Yeah, I mean, we may need to, because we're in an annual contract right now. And if we remove one, we're going to be left with one. So I'll probably have to have a conversation with Mr. Rose and see if that's something that we want to just cancel the contract, rebid it so we can get two back, or do we just go out and do one more? Do we do another contract with another bidder? You know, so I'll have to work with legal and our procurement on that to figure out what we do. But I think at the end of the day, having two contractors is the best thing. How we get there, I'll figure that out.
Expiration?
Excuse me?
What's the current expiration?
Well, because prices were getting a lot better, and we went ahead with a 3-year contract on this. So hopefully, Vulcan can perform, and maybe we can maintain that contract. Like I said, issue another contract as a backup or to do things concurrently.
Okay.
Yeah, the other item is I'd like to get an update from Tom where their overall, I guess, signal synchronization is for the town.
And just to be clear, you're talking about the ITS project?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so, there have been several delays on this project because we had a set of construction plans that we had to adjust to match up with what the the Smart Choice Lane project came in. And so currently where we're at right now is we anticipate to be at substantial completion by this May. And they've done pretty much all the work. We've been waiting on TDOT to approve some work on some change orders. They did get those approved, and so right now, I think one of the last things to do to complete is to replace some of the section of Murfreesboro fiber from Sam Griffin to Town Hall. We're going to have to work with Middle Tennessee Electric on making those submittals for pole attachment heights. But once those get in, Middle Tennessee Electric will approve it, and that's one of the last things to get completed. Then we'll have everything interconnected, turn everything on, and like I said, we should be in substantial completion by May. And then we'll go into what's called a burn-in phase, which is where we test everything, make sure everything is reading properly between the Traffic Operations Center and out in the field to make sure we have connectivity. At that point, we'll have 49 of our 54 traffic signals connected into the Traffic Operations Center, and we'll have 19 cameras activated.
And I guess that will be controlled not only by, I guess, controllers at each signal, but it'll also be programmed to each signal, but we'll be able to override in the control center.
Yeah,
we're just trying to get the overall operations of it.
So what that allows us to do with our ITS system is all the traffic signals that are connected to that system, we're able to go in and kind of see what's going on. We can visually look at if there's cameras nearby. Also, we'll be able to make any adjustments as needed if a special event occurs, anything like that, either during the day, after hours. Our Traffic Operations Center, we only have one person who runs it, so they work from 6 to 2:30. Now, sometimes he does bring his laptop home at night, and if he gets a call or if he gets any kind of email stating that there's been an issue at a signal, because if he'll get an email or text message if there's an issue with connectivity, with detection, if there's multiple cars backing up and through an intersection and not flushing out, he'll get a signal on that, or he'll get a notification on that. He'll be able to go into his laptop, see what's going on, and make timing adjustments as needed.
So when we have a special event on the weekend, we'll have capability to do that.
It's, I'm sorry, it's always best if there's a special event going on for anybody to contact us. That way we have notice ahead of time. This last weekend, they had a big bowling tournament at Smyrna, and they notified us ahead of time. I know with Mike Moss, whenever they have big tournaments at Rotary Soccer Park, they notify us. And as long as people notify us ahead of time, that's not a problem. Jonathan can go in there and change some signal timing plans, add some extra time to side streets, which is typically the ones that get affected when there's a special event, to be able to help flush those cars out a lot faster.
Great.
Once it's up and running, will you look to see how much time he's having to spend from 2 to whenever, to see if we're gonna need a second person?
Yeah, and I talked to Jonathan about it. He's a great guy, and
Yeah.
honestly, he's salary. He doesn't get paid on weekends. He doesn't get paid at night, and there's a lot of special events he comes in on, and a lot that he does. I'm very fortunate to have someone like that
Yeah.
working for us. But yeah,
Having one person in the entire city that can run traffic operations is,
Scary.
yeah.
thank you. So Tom
Just stroke out.
has made some recommendations that we'll discuss in the budget.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, even if he can kind of handle the day-to-day, the vacations or sick time or any time he may miss, unfortunately, the traffic's not gonna stop because he's on vacation, so it's gonna have to be something we have
Right.
to talk about. Maybe somebody we can dual use.
Once the cameras
I'll do
come
it.
online, is that something we'll be able
Green.
to put on our website?
Yeah, we've been talking about that since the storm, and we saw that the functionality that we could have had to kind of just get a visual on what's happening out there on the road. So we're working through that, making sure that we can get that accomplished. I don't have an update for you on where we are, but certainly is on our radar.
Perfect.
Thanks, Tom.
Yep.
Great. Sierra? Oh, sure. Yep.
Lake Farm Estates. Kevin, can you give us an update on, because I'm sure you've had multiple calls about
I've
this.
had calls on that.
Yeah, we've had a lot of calls. There is a property owner, an industrial property owner along Union Springs Road that many, many years ago bought up several homes on the south side of Lake Farm Road, tore the homes down and kind of left the lots alone. Recently, last couple of weeks, they've gone in, cleared out all the trees, which they had every right to do. There was nothing we could stop them from doing that. And now, obviously, it's created a lot of issues though, because the visual, the lights coming from those industrial buildings onto those residential homes, as well as the noise. We contacted them basically the week after, or the Monday after it kind of happened over a weekend is where a lot of it happened. We sent a letter, notified them there are issues now because of the lighting and the noise, that the trees created that natural buffer that isn't there anymore. We told them we're gonna have to correct this issue, give us a plan for how you're gonna correct this issue. There's a lot of rumors going around that may be true, I don't know, we haven't heard from them yet, so, but,
Kevin, that's still residential.
it is zoned residential.
Right.
There's a lot of concerns, which I understand completely why there would be the concerns, that they want to basically go in, pave that area, put up a barbed wire or chain link fence with barbed wire around the top and start parking tractor trailers over there and that sort of thing. That property is zoned residential, they can't do that. I mean, they would
The
have,
planning process
they
of
would have to go
coming
through
to
the planning.
planning
To
commission
do
and then to
that,
us.
this council would have to make a decision whether or not to rezone that property, so. And which I told all the folks that have called me, I've told them all that. It doesn't, obviously, there's still a concern, and I completely understand the concern, but and at this point, there's been no applications made, there's been nothing from them.
So
To this point.
since it's industrial abutting residential currently, I assume there's buffering requirements on that industrial side.
There
Now-
would have been today.
That's grandfathered.
All that was built 40-plus years ago, so.
So there was no buffering requirements when it was
Yeah,
built.
right. Now, the buffering, like I said, the trees that were on the residential property was what was really creating the buffer. I mean, that's what was the bulk of it there. There is one track, one of the tracks they owns, or technically it's one big, it's actually technically two tracks. It hasn't really been built on yet. Then there's the tract with the building on it and with some parking and trailers parked and different things over there. That's really where most of the noise and the lighting is coming from.
Do we have anything in place now? I know when you review it at planning commission, we attempt to get, 0-foot candles, I guess, at the property line. Do we have anything in place?
We have that in place for, obviously, for new developments. Yes, we make that happen. Again, this is one of those things that's older. They are involved. We do have noise and lighting limitations still that they would be in violation of.
Okay.
It's in the zoning ordinance. It's not in, but it was when that was built, that wasn't in place. But we now, as part of that we get when the plans come in, that they have a lighting plan that they put in place when it's abutting residential.
So how long do they have to correct the issues that are within the code?
I'd have to go back. I don't know what we put in the letter. Typically, we give them 15 days or something like that. On my understanding, I heard kind of through the grapevine, I've been busy the last couple of days and haven't been able to zero in. I think we do. One of the inspectors has dealt with them and has a phone number, I think. So we're going to go find that number, see if I can get that contact. Because we sent the letter to give them official notice, certainly. Obviously, a phone call is going to help. They're in out of state. They're in Warren, Michigan. So they're not anywhere nearby. The people that are out there working and all, they're leaseholders. They don't own the property. So they're not. They don't. I think they may even just own the property and not even own the business that's on the property. I believe so.
Jeff, is there, what recourse does the town have in this case?
Well, if they're in violation, I think you said of,
It's a zoning ordinance violation. We can take them to court.
the lighting and all that.
Yeah.
Beyond that, we're limited, I mean,
For those types of things, the lighting and stuff like that, well, we can take them to municipal court, we can go to chancery court for an injunction, but obviously we'd start off usually with municipal court after Kevin and them, try to work with them first, before we start moving to enforcement tools. But, if they were in operations at some point, when zoning was done, as far as zoning issues, then that is grandfathered, but that's only for the use that they were kind of doing, and what's part and parcel to their business. But light shining on you definitely doesn't have anything to do with whether you have a business or not.
that's why I was curious. I didn't really understand the grandfathering related to buffering. If our ordinance requires a type C buffer between
Well, I think when they were
industrial-
approved, they didn't have to have a buffer, is what he's saying, and
I
so.
understand, but the ordinance has changed. It's not specific to the type of business they're doing. So why is that grandfathered?
Because when they came in, they didn't have to. So if we changed that, you can't imagine people would have to come through. If it's in the zoning ordinance, come back through. The lighting is more of a property maintenance issue. We litigated that with Bell Furniture many years ago.
Yeah, I guess I'm
And
not
so-
seeing the delineation. To me, the buffering, maintaining privacy around like a fence or anything would, to me, just be like property management. That's the part I'm not seeing the difference. Lighting and noise seems just like buffering and fencing to me too. It's not necessarily part of the business or the building. That's why I'm not understanding the
Of course,
difference.
think about your lighting, that's, push it down. Landscaping, you're talking about expending a lot of funds to build around when it wasn't required when they built it, basically.
Okay, I mean, you're the lawyer.
Sometimes.
I think it's.
Not for much longer.
In this case, it might be something we might want to take up. I mean, especially the impact, if you've been over there and see it,
It's a
it's
massive
bad.
impact. It's a massive.
It is a
it's
drastic
massive
impact. If I was one of those neighbors, those lights probably wouldn't be working.
Well, we will definitely look at it, but this is the first time hearing about it.
Yeah, it's probably one of the most drastic changes I've seen in the town.
Okay.
It is their property.
Yeah.
Right? It's their property.
Yeah, but
But
they-
it's not industrial property.
Right.
So.
But we also want to see, are they in violation of any municipal codes? Because that's a whole different ballgame, so, but we'll look at all that. I'll get with Kevin.
I'm guessing.
fencing can they put up, Kevin?
The fencing, the rules are for fencing, you can't be in front of the front setback. So we'd have to check what those setbacks are on those lots. Most of that area, some of those, they had as big as 70-foot 70 or 75-foot setbacks on some of those lots out there when that was developed originally in the county. So they would have to meet the front setbacks, but as far as the type, as long as they're meeting setbacks, they're not past the front setback line, they're not decorative fences, so they could be a privacy fence or whatever, chain link or whatever fence. There's really nothing on the type of fence, if it's, as long as they're not in front of that front setback.
And there's nothing out there that says that we have to, or that they have to delineate between where the residential zoning and the industrial zoning takes up. I mean, it could just be open,
I mean,
correct?
they could fence, yes.
They what?
They could fence
They
it
could
up,
fence that,
but
They could put a fence, but not necessarily.
they don't have the zoning, and they could not pave it and park on it
Right,
like they're,
right.
which is what I've heard at least, what they want to do, and the rumor is that they want to do. They could not do that without a rezoning of the property. It's zoned R1. What they can do by right out there is go back and build a house on each of those lots. That's what they can do by right.
That's what it's currently zoned for, R1?
Right. All those lots still exist. They've not been combined together or anything. There's all those 10 or 12, 15, however many there are exactly, that they've bought through the years. They're still individual lots that they could build on.
Do you remember how long ago it was that they bought that property, and we went through this back then, that they thought they were going to come in here and get it rezoned into industrial?
Which they never even
Tied
filed,
in.
they never filed that application. They never filed an application then either. I know codes that dealt with them at that time, and this is probably,
It's been every bit of 30 years.
well, I don't know if it's been
No,
30,
like
because it's been much since I've been
I'm
here.
talking about the, when they bought some of those properties. It's been-
I know it's probably 15 years or so ago
Been longer than
that I know that there was a couple of them that were in disrepair, and codes was trying to get them to clean them up and fix them. That's when they just came in and bulldozed them all down.
Yeah.
At that time, about 15 or so years ago. But again, we're well aware of the situation. It's gonna take some time, but it's obviously an issue that's gotta be addressed. It's a massive change for that neighborhood, and I feel very sorry for those folks that live over there, because it's a terrible change. that will
Just
take place.
because if they choose to drag their feet, can we make sure we hold their feet to the fire, Jeff, on the amount of time that whatever we can legally hold them to, that
Yeah, if we
we're
talk,
on
we
it?
give them 15 days, 16th day, we need to do the next step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any requirement to give them the time, but I think that's just
I mean,
typically what they do.
And it's, the issue is we may have to go to Warren, Michigan, to decide somebody to court. I mean, that's what we have to do. But
I get plaintiff.
You better
I
hurry,
was gonna
Jeff's
say-
almost.
I was gonna say, I'll volunteer.
Be careful about who the plaintiff is for.
Okay.
They might not let you do it, Raquel, because the light's probably shining on your house.
They are.
Other questions or comments? Thanks, Kevin. Sierra?
Okay, January sales tax numbers are in. State shared tax came in at a little less than 5.4 million, and local sales tax, next slide, is 12.9 million.
Pretty flat.
The year over year, I mean, the budget to year numbers look good. We're right on track, which is good. But that negative red makes me nervous.
I have a question into the county to ask, because if you look at the trends, it does not align.
It does
Yeah.
not make sense, yeah.
Yeah, it could just be something that posted late
You know,
on their
I'm-
side.
Yeah, but I have been saying for a couple of years, I've been kind of pointing out that these numbers have gotten flatter than they used to be. And it's not completely out of the question that it will get negative at some point. I'm just hoping we're not there yet.
Right.
Online shopping.
Yep.
Is.
Shop local.
Shop local. That's right.
Or Amazon.
Other questions for Sierra? Comments? Thank you, ma'am. Correspondence and announcements, anything specific?
I just want to let the council and the public know that we have successfully recruited for the Assistant Director of Public Works Town Attorney position. We have an offer and acceptance. Mr. Jason Taylor is going to be starting on March 23rd. He comes with over 20 years of experience in both the public and private sector in transportation engineering. He worked in both Baton Rouge and Ascension Parish. So He said he did not know Jerome, so.
That's a good thing.
But we're really excited to have him and bring him on board. I think he's going to be really good for us with the growth that we're seeing and being able to manage and plan for transportation projects. So we're very excited, and I'm sure Tom is as well. So with that, all I have is my slides.
Before you get to your slides, Amber, anything?
I was named WGNS's Good Neighbor of the Day
I know, I heard that.
earlier this week.
Yes, very well deserved,
I had
well
an
deserved.
anonymous nomination, and
It was anonymous?
apparently,
It was me.
was it? So I got a free coffee at Seven Brew. Actually, Rick Hall texted me to tell me about it, and I said, proof or it's not true. So he recorded a clip of the news clip and sent it to me. So whoever did that, thank you. I try to be a good neighbor every day.
I don't even know what you did, but I'm sure you deserve it.
Well, I did something, I guess.
Okay, Dave, your slides.
Thank you. Last week, we kicked off our inaugural session of our 8-week Citizens Academy. It was a really great start. Participants began with introductions and a panel discussion with our town council and our administration, followed by a behind-the-scenes tour of Town Hall and an overview of Smyrna's form of government. And last night, we hosted our second session, which included presentations from our town attorney, town clerk, public information officer, and finance director. We're excited to launch this new program. I think it'll become a meaningful program moving forward for us, and just appreciate the enthusiasm and the curiosity of the first group of citizens that we have. Want to thank the council for being there the first night, and some of you are even hanging out for some of these other sessions. Want to thank my staff for all the work that they've done to put this together. Specifically, I want to thank Mr. Todd Spearman. You've done an excellent job putting this together, and the classes have been going really well. And then, of course, everyone who presented last night, you did a great job. So this is very exciting for us, and looking forward to doing this, continuing this class. We've got great things happening. I think next week we're going to the water plant, and then we'll see this doing it every year. And so thank you all for your support on this one.
I think it's a very, very good program, and honestly, I'm kind of, it kind of gives you some hope when you see some of the people that have come and how much they have engaged. We don't get a lot of that type of engagement where we get one-on-one time with citizens we don't already know, and so it's been pretty fun. That's why I came back for the next week and plan to make it to all of them, even though I'm not really participating. I enjoy sitting with them and letting them have somebody to talk to. So it's fun. Enjoyed it.
Last night was good. Y'all did really well.
Yeah, the budgeting exercise was pretty cool. I can tell you on the back row where I was sitting, there were some folks struggling back there. I'm not going to mention names, but there's a few people that probably don't need to be on any budgeting committees.
Faces when the alarm went off.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Jeff?
I'm sure that everyone read my email. Just happy we're able to get the Diaz versus Town of Smyrna case dismissed this week. So that's one more don't have to worry about in the future.
Jerome?
Jeff, so when's your final day?
May 1st.
Okay,
Y'all kicked me out before.
but you'll be here. We'll have another meeting.
I'll have
okay?
another council
I can give you the farewell then.
That's right.
Yeah. I have a slide with there you go. Join us for a fun-filled afternoon at our annual Easter egg hunt. It will be Saturday, March 28th at 1 p.m. at Lee Victory Recreation Park. This event is open to ages 1 through 12, and the Easter Bunny will be on site for pictures. Don't forget your baskets. This is sponsored by the Smyrna Natural Gas Department, and the rain date is Saturday, April 4th at 1 p.m. And are you dressing up again, HG, as a bunny this year, or?
Why wouldn't I?
Well, you've done such a good job in the past, I was just wanting to make sure.
I wouldn't miss it.
Okay.
Okay, Raquel?
Smyrna Depot is now accepting applications for the 2026 market season. The season will run every Saturday from 8 a.m. to 12 noon, starting on May the 9th through September the 19th. Apply today to be a vendor at carpeartista.com/farmers-market. So any vendors out there who want to participate, please go ahead and sign up. Thank you.
HG?
Jerome, you dress up as a beat every Saturday and go out there, don't you?
Yes, sir.
As a what? A beat?
A beat?
A beat.
Beat, B-E-E-T.
Oh, and let me also say
Oh, beat.
congratulations, Jeff,
Beat.
on your
it's on
new
our-
position.
Oh, okay, at the
Congratulations.
farmer's market.
Yeah, yeah.
How about beets? Come in for that.
So
We're
does
halfway there.
Britt.
Oh, I love
He
it.
does too. Yeah, I agree.
Okey dokey. Love where you live, folks. Clean up after yourselves, recycle, help keep Smyrna litter-free. You know, do a shout out to Tony Proctor one more
Yes.
time. Tony
Yes.
is, he's the litter champion of the Seven Oaks Boulevard out there, and they've even organized a community trash cleanup day, which we could all, follow that lead. But in addition to love where you live and help keep Smyrna litter-free, recycle, also, as we indicated earlier, everybody shop local. It makes a difference. It makes a difference. Thank you.
Jerry?
Yeah, I've got a couple of slides. Okay, I think you guys saw a little bit of this earlier tonight, but I did get to go to Thurman Francis Arts Academy and enjoyed the first grade living museum from Miss Mahaffey's class. The students did an outstanding job bringing history to life, including David Short, it was Andrew Jackson, Adeline Smith. There on the end is Nancy Reagan. Leo Pearson in the middle is George Washington, and he was really dressed well. So those young men and women did a fantastic job. It was just a blessing and put a smile on your face. And so I'm so glad to get to see them come tonight. And I think I've got another one. The countdown is on for the Smyrna Sister City Chili Supper and Silent Auction. This is our biggest fundraiser to help current and future students lower the cost of an unforgettable cultural exchange with their friends in Japan. Students are currently selling tickets and gathering sponsors. So if you want to sponsor and you don't know who to, don't know a student, you can call Lisa Winters here at the town hall. Her number is 615-267-5005 to purchase tickets. Also, I've got a granddaughter. It's got a birthday coming up on the 15th, so happy birthday to Sophie, and just wanted to say thank you to so many people that reached out to me over the last 2.5 weeks checking on me, and I really appreciate it.
Great. Steve?
I have a slide as well. As you can see on the screen, the Smyrna Golf Course has gotten some new golf carts. This has been something that Mike and the staff's been working on for the last couple of months to try to figure out how to kind of replace some aging fleet and some batteries that were dying. And I think this is definitely the right way to go. They've implemented a program where they're going to start replacing a portion of carts over the next few years till they get them all replaced. Some interesting facts. A lot of people probably don't realize this, but the Smyrna Golf Course has 80 golf carts. And due to just age of some of the units, we were down to 57, I think, functioning, which meant we had some situations on the weekends where it was really busy when we couldn't allow carts to go over to the executive course because we needed them all in the main course. And there were 23 carts sitting in the clubhouse that couldn't run. So this is the first 15 with, I think, another 7 or 8 or maybe 5 planned very soon. But this is the first 15 that replaced at least 15 of those that were failing. So obviously a very important adjustment. They're really nice. They, as you can tell, they're black instead of white. All of our white ones were starting to look more like a yellow. because of aging. So we're hoping black might hold up a little better to the sunlight. These are lithium batteries, so much longer life on the battery systems. And some really nice features: a rain cover over your golf clubs, sand bottles on the cart, more dash space. There's a lot of nice benefits to these. The day they got them, probably the day this picture was taken, I went over and Scott and I tried a couple out. So they ride really nice, and they got some good pep. So really excited. Book your tee time and ride in style.
Guarantee you improve your game?
Probably not, but
Your car will. Your car, it can't get any worse, right?
And then I also have a birthday coming up. My mother's birthday is March 19th, so I want to say happy birthday to my mother. My mother and I are very close in age. She's only 16 years older than me. She was 16 when I was born. And so it's always been a joke that we'll retire at the same age, basically, and we'll have matching rocking chairs. So, Mom, those rocking chairs are really close. That's all I've got.
I've got a couple slides I think that are going to pop up here too. Free tax prep, Volunteer Income Tax Assistant Program, VITA, is offering free in-person tax preparation in Smyrna for individuals and families earning under $84,000 in 2025. That's Smyrna Town Hall Annex right here, 315 South Lowry Street. January 31st through April 11th, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays from 9 until 1 p.m. You do have to have an appointment, so make that appointment if you'd like some tax help. The second one is the Smyrna Event Center is hosting the Happy Easter Buffet on April 5th, 2026, with 2 seating times, 11 to 12:30 and 12:45 to 2:15. These usually fill up pretty quick. Reservations are required by calling 615-459-4444 or emailing karen.cawthorn@townofsmyrna.org. The pricing is $29.95 for adults, $17.95 for children, ages 6 through 12, and free for children 5 and under. This is always a big event. I know we don't ever get to make it because that's kind of when we do our family Easter, but everybody that tells me they go, it's well worth their time and their money. Just a couple quick notes. HG Class of 75, we lost our class president, Paul Nolan, recently. Paul was a graduate of Smyrna High School and a longtime pastor of his church. We send our condolences to Paul. And Jerry, you was not on my bingo card that you would even make it tonight. I know you've been in a lot of pain from surgery, and we're glad you're healing a little bit in your back. You look a little uncomfortable still when you walk, but I hope you're healing better. And last thing to Jeff. Jeff, I know we'll have time to say all of our good things about you next time around, but I do want to congratulate you on the acceptance of your new position. And that's all I have there.
I'm glad you're congratulating because I'm not.
Well, I didn't say I was happy about it.
I say we send him to Michigan, like maybe April 28th.
Yeah. Couple of items. First of all, I want to thank Think Tennessee. They put together a mayor's roundtable and invited the 15 largest cities in Tennessee, and 12 showed up. We also had staff there along with us. It was a 24-hour period that we were there, and it was really informative. And former Deputy Governor Butch Ely also joined us for the discussion, and it's something I think that was beneficial for all of us. So I cannot tell you the relationships that are built at those events. One of the things we talked about, the mayors went to dinner that night, and one of the things that I think some of the other mayors that aren't in the Middle Tennessee region that were really kind of jealous was the relationships that we've built here in Middle Tennessee and being able to work together. And some of them didn't have that. And they were really asking a lot of questions about how have we done that over the years. And so sometimes we don't realize what great things we have until you hear from others who don't have it going as good. So,
Top 15. There's 300 and how many municipalities in the state? Do you remember?
Oh, I can't tell you off the top of my head.
It's 3-something. I
Yes.
don't remember what it is, but so top 15 out of 300. But where's Smyrna in that list? Number,
Dave just told me that we had moved up, he had seen, so.
Yeah, if you look at the population estimates for 2024, I think we're 9 now.
number 9.
9,
Top 10.
from 11 to 9.
Good job.
Yep.
So,
So-
yeah, for a lot of folks that we hear it all the time about how small of a town Smyrna is. I'm glad you still feel it, but we're number 9 out of 300 in the state of Tennessee. We could probably name the other 8 pretty quickly. We all know what towns those are, so it says a lot.
They're all around us.
That puts us in really good company.
It does. And I'm glad that we have a seat at the table. So, second is the application for the Captain Jeff Coos Memorial Scholarship through Friday, March 13th. It is open to graduating seniors. Eligible applicants are high school seniors planning to attend college, trade school, or another post-secondary education program. They have to live in Smyrna or attend a Smyrna high school. It is also open to homeschoolers. You can apply online at townofsmyrna.org. Just remember, the deadline is this Friday, so don't miss out on a scholarship opportunity. I have 2 birthdays to talk about. Parker's birthday's tomorrow and will be 29, so happy birthday to Parker. And Britt's birthday is on the 15th, so we will be celebrating all week for birthdays. Amber Lou?
No, you didn't go around the room yet. A couple were called up here, but I believe, Christy, did you have an announcement that you needed to make tonight? Okay.
Thank you. Very briefly, I just want to let y'all know our newest codes compliance officer is Alex Noose, and he's been with us just for a few weeks. He came to me and talked to me about wanting to get a new certification, and so he took it upon himself to do that, and he got it. He is now recognized by the ICC as a code enforcement officer. He is the only codes enforcement officer with the state of Tennessee at this point. And he's in the United States of America, he's one of 10 certified code enforcement officers. So just letting you know, we're going to get the code enforcement taken care of.
Go get her.
He is. Thank you.
Steve, 346. So, anything else tonight?
Pretty much puts us in top 3%.
You know,
Yeah.
talking about that though, that we're that size, and then when we go look at our AAA bond rating, and there's only 5 in the state that have that. To me, that's just as impressive that we're able to maintain that size and then still hold on to that bond rating.
I don't
think
think all
that-
5 of those are in that top 9 either.
Not very many, for sure. But I think that's a real tribute to, the people that are sitting out here in the audience today and the rest of the employees that come to work every day and make
It's only
town of Smyrna what it is.
178, I think, of those in the country.
What's that again?
Triple A.
78 AAA.
178, 5 in Tennessee, and we're one of them. so.
Sierra, you inherited all the kudos. Thank you. Now you just have to keep it up. That's the hard part, right? Maybe Rex saw something and bailed on you. I'm not sure.
Council, just heads up, Tom was able to send to us the updated contract for the consent item E that you were asking about. So he's emailed that to us during the meeting. Okay, anything else? Nothing else, then we're adjourned.